Hi everybody, my name is Hadas and I'm with Revelo Systems, and I'm going to talk to you today about how to run VMware environments, VMware workloads on AWS. So just a little bit about Revelo Systems. Revelo was founded about 3 years ago by the same team that developed KVM, and you can see a few of our customers over here. Let me take you directly to the Revelo environment demo. So Revelo is a software as a service. You can see here that I've logged onto our service. And over here you can see a list of environments that are running on the public cloud. So some are running on Amazon Virginia, some are running on Google Cloud, and so on. And I'm now going to show you how to create a new such environment and run it on the public cloud. So I've now created a new application. An application is an environment that is able to hold VMs and run on the public cloud. Over here on the left-hand side, there's a library of virtual machines that I have available to use in this environment. In order to upload VMs and have them available in the library, I just need to take an export from a VMware environment, like an OVF file, VMX file, and the VMDKs, and just upload them onto the service. They end up over here in the library. Once they are here, I can use them in my new environment. So I'm now going to drag and drop VMs into the environment. These are 2 application servers, a database VM, and a web server VM. So I've now created a 4 VM CRM application environment. And each such VM was just exported from my VMware environment and uploaded onto the service. I can modify a lot of things about the VM, like the number of CPU, the number of gigs of memory. I can control the network cards, add more network cards, control the MAC addresses, control the disks of the VM, add more disks, add CD-ROMs in order to upload ISO files afterwards and install them. So all the normal things I would expect to control on a VM. So now that I've created an environment, I want to show you the network part of this environment. So each such environment or each such application has a fully supported layer 2 network inside. A fully fenced layer 2 network. And this is a software-defined network. So you can see that I have my 2 application servers in a 10.4 subnet. Okay, so these were running on a 10.4 subnet in my private data center. And they're running in the same setting right now. The database is on another subnet. The web server is on a different subnet. And you can see that we've added an automatic router to connect the 3 subnets to make the application work. So this is a fully fenced software-defined network that exists inside this application environment. So far I've just designed the application. The next thing I want to do is publish it. Publish is the action of taking this environment and starting it up on a public cloud. So you can see that I can choose different cloud providers in different regions. I can set up a timer for the environment to stop if I want. By default, it's just 2 hours. And I can also see how much this environment would cost per hour. So these environments are running on the public cloud, and so they cost just for the time that the environment is running. And you can see that this environment has 4 CPU and 8 gigs of memory in total. And so it adds up to less 60 cents an hour. Once I hit publish, Revelo takes instances from the public cloud provider, puts on top of them our hypervisor, our virtualization infrastructure, and loads on top of that the VMs that are part of this application. Now this hypervisor this is the nested virtualization technology. This hypervisor takes care of two things. First one is to make the VMs that are used to VMware environment run natively without any change, even though they're running on a public cloud. And the second thing is the software-defined network. So this hypervisor, this virtualization infrastructure, creates a full layer 2 network by means of tunneling between all the public cloud instances that are running this environment. And so after a few minutes that it takes to get the instances from the public cloud provider, the VMs in this environment will start booting, and then I have a new copy of this CRM application running on the public cloud. Let me open one that's already running. So what I've done just now is go to the web server, which is the front end of my application, and just hit go on the public IP that was attached to this VM after the publish process is done. And I get the front page or the portal of my CRM application. So I now have a running copy of my entire application within a few minutes on the public cloud. Now, once I have such a running copy, I can save it as a blueprint. A blueprint is essentially a template of the entire environment, okay? This is a snapshot of all of the VMs in their current state, as well as the whole software-defined network definitions inside. That means that this template can now be used to spin up as many copies of this environment as I want to make and run them on the public cloud. So within one click, I can hit create application and spin up another running copy of this environment. The reason that it works to duplicate these environments without having to worry about IP collisions, we've seen that these VMs have private data center subnets. There is no need to worry about IP collisions because each such environment is completely fenced networking-wise. Once I spin up copies of this environment, they will all look the same inside. They will all have the same 10.5, 10.3 IPs inside of the environment. The only thing that will change is the DNS name or the public IP that is attached to the VMs. So every time I will have a different DNS name, and once I open, for example, a web page with this DNS page, I will get the same portal of my CRM application. So the Revelo service is very much attuned to development and testing. I can have a very complex VMware environment running in-house with a lot of VMs. I've shown you just 4 VMs, but we have customers running 300 VMs and more in one given environment. And they're able to spin up a copy of even such a complicated environment within a few minutes because it's running on the public cloud. Now, these environments may hold very complex network topologies. There's full layer 2 support, so you can run firewalls, routers, network appliances, make use of advanced networking features like setting VLANs, appliances that need promiscuous ports and so on. So this is a fully supported layer 2 network, and the beauty of it is that it will just continue to work the same way it does in the private data center. So each VM knows how to find its default gateway by the IP, and all the network topology stays the same private IPs, so all the components in the application continue to communicate with each other the same way they do in the private data center. So that's a very accurate, complete duplication of a running environment in a VMware in a private data center that is able to run on the public cloud. Another important thing to know is that everything that I've shown you here in the UI has extensive API behind it. So it is possible to integrate that with continuous integration processes. For example, whenever a developer commits some code, you can spin up environments and update the code and run a bunch of automatic testing and tear them down. If any test fails, you can take a snapshot or a blueprint of the entire environment and then tear the environment down. And so whenever the developer wants to look into a bug and figure out why it was running, it is able to spin up a whole environment that has accurate snapshot of this bug and why it happened. And then they are able to investigate that and troubleshoot that. So it essentially lets you to burst into the public cloud whenever you need, either for a lot of parallel automatic testing, or even if it were just just a prototyping of some feature. You want to test something, you can spin up a copy of your environment, prototype that, check what you want to check, test for upgrades and things like that, and then tear the environment down. And it only costs for the time that the application is running on the public cloud. So that's what I've wanted to show you about Revelo Systems. Come visit us at booth 802, and we'll be happy to show you more about the service. And thank you.